But moving on, for nearly 6 months, we have been seeing markets under the strain with a significant correction from the peak in September 2024. This is across all benchmark indices. An essential indicator of these market confidence during this period is the buying and selling activities by company promoters and directors. Here with us is Soumit, who has compiled detailed data on these transactions. So Soumit, take it away and explain what are we seeing in this.
Indian markets have corrected sharply from their peak. In fact, to be precise, the Nifty Mid Cap 100 and the Nifty Small Cap 100 indices have declined anywhere between 12.5% to 22%. In fact, the Small Cap index technically has also entered the bear market. Also for 2025, if you look at for the Mid Cap and the Small Cap indices, the worst is the start is the worst that we have seen since 2016 for the Mid Cap and the Small Cap index. Now, amid this conditions, it is important to track what the insiders have been doing with the companies. Now, for the purpose of insider trading, we have included the buying and selling activity done by promoters, key managerial persons, directors, their immediate relatives, and the employees as well. However, we have not included the buying and selling activity which is related to the stock options. Apart from that, we have also not included shares which have been converted into warrants and shares that have been bought or sold by the company trust. So apart from that, this is what we have included in our data and what are the findings here. Now, when it comes to buying activity, promoters have been quite active for Shobha. In fact, they have not only bought shares in the open market but have also subscribed to the preferential allotment, and close to 69 lakh shares is what they have increased their stake since September end till now, and that is nearly 6.4% of the equity. In fact, Navin Jindal as a promoter has been quite active in the open market, and he has not only bought shares in JSPL but also in Jindal Stainless. In JSPL, he has bought close to 61.7 lakh shares, that is close to 514 crore worth of shares in the company, and that is nearly 0.6% of the equity. In Jindal Stainless, he has bought close to 20.2 lakh shares, that is close to 0.25% of the equity. Poonawalla FinCorp, promoters have bought close to 40 lakh shares, that is nearly 0.5% of the equity, while Ajit Isaac of Quest Corp has bought close to 7.5 lakh shares in the company, which is nearly 0.5% of the equity. Now, on the flip side, if you look at companies like Cochin Shipyard, DOMS, ZF Commercial and Syngene had seen some selling activity done by the promoter, but that was via a block deal and pretty much known in the market and a one-time thing. Like in Cochin Shipyard, it was the Indian government who had done a divestment. In DOMS also the promoter, ZF Commercial, the MNC promoter, and in Syngene it was Biocon who had divested the SEC. But apart from that, which are the key activities that we have seen? Firstly, in Page Industry, this is the promoters which have sold nearly 1.5% of the equity. In 361, it is employees who have sold close to 12.5 lakh shares since October till now. In InfoEdge, it is the promoters and their immediate relatives which have sold close to 1.2 lakh shares. In Polycab, also promoters immediate relative have sold close to 95,000 shares, and in Tejas Network, it is the employees which have sold close to 5.7 lakh shares, that is nearly 0.3% of the equity. So keep an eye out for these companies. A lot of insider transaction and dealings have been done in these companies.
Well, thanks for that, Soumit. Very interesting set of data that we are looking at. In fact, what stands out is some of the names in which the promoter buying has been very strong. This includes the likes of Soba, which if we go back and see in the last one, it has seen a 34% of a fall. There's counters like Jindal Stainless and JSPL as well. Sharmila, I want to get your view on some of the counters in which Soumit was talking about there being a lot of buying of promoter stake despite the fall that we have been seeing.
Yeah, interesting list, but I would think that the two names which are meaningful are really Soba and the Jindal Stainless JSPL bit. And for different reasons, I think Soba also because it's correcting and because we are seeing the kind of the impact of all these developments that have had on real estate as a sector. Because I think it stands to reason when you're losing money in equity. Then the kind of investments real estate has been seeing seems to have slowed or tapered. So in an environment like that, if there is buying by the promoters, it sort of gives you more confidence that they are expecting that their sector will recover along with market. So I think that's a very good sign. Again, I think for metals, it's a little complicated because I think they will also have an impact from everything happening globally. So how everybody, the world reacts to the steps US is taking, what China will do, etc., all remains to be seen. So these could be the interesting bits according to me, and I think for me, Soba is really the meaningful one.
That's with regards to JSPL as well as SOBA. But moving